If you're looking at horse property in the Tucson area, do not make an offer until you watch this video. I'm Meg Estes, your AZ homegirl, and today I am breaking down the 2 biggest legal landmines that catch horse property buyers off guard: zoning regulations and HOA restrictions. I have seen buyers fall in love with a property, go under contract, and then discover they cannot keep horses on it. Or they find out that the HOA limits them to 2 horses when they actually have 4. That is a nightmare. I'm going to help you avoid that right now. All right, let's start with the basics. What is zoning and why does it matter for horse owners? Zoning is how the county or city controls what you can and cannot do with a piece of land. It dictates things like whether you can keep livestock, how many animals you can have, and where you can build a barn, or how far structures have to be set back from the property lines. In the Tucson area, you are dealing with multiple jurisdictions. There is Pima County zoning, City of Tucson zoning, and then individual town zonings for places like Oro Valley, Marana, and Sonoita. Each one has different rules. This is the first thing that trips people up. The most horse-friendly zoning in Pima County is what they call CR5 designation, which is the county's rural on larger lots. But you will also see horses allowed in CR3, CR2, and even some in CR1 zones, depending on the specific regulations for that area. Now, here is the key number you need to know. In unincorporated Pima County areas, the standard rule for keeping livestock is 1 horse per 10,000 square feet of lot area. So let me put that into real terms. 10,000 square feet is about 1/4 of an acre. So on a 1 acre lot, which is roughly 43,500 square feet, you could technically keep about 4 horses. On a 2.5 acre lot, you could keep around 10. On 5 acres, around 20. Although, practically speaking, you would never want that many on 5 acres. But here is the critical part. That is a county rule. If you are inside the city of Tucson or inside specific towns' jurisdictions, the rules may be completely different. And if there is an HOA, the HOA can be even more restrictive than the county. They cannot be less restrictive, but they can absolutely add limits on top of what the county rules are. This is why you need to verify 3 things before making an offer: county or city zoning, any overlay districts, and HOA and CC&Rs. The next thing that catches people is the setback requirements. A setback is the minimum distance a structure has to be from the property line. In Pima County, barns, shelters, arenas, and other agricultural structures typically meet specific setback distances. And those distances vary depending on the zoning classification and the size of the lot. For example, a larger rural lot, you might have a 50-foot front setback and a 20-foot setback on the backside. On a smaller lot that is zoned for horses, those setbacks can eat up a surprising amount of your usable space. I've seen buyers plan to put a barn in one spot only to find that the setback requirements make it almost impossible to do so. So always check the setbacks before you plan your layout. Your agent should be pulling the zoning report and reviewing this with you before you ever even write an offer. And here is one more thing about structures. If you are building a new barn, arena, or a shade structure, you need zoning permits even if you don't need a building permit. The zoning permit verifies your setbacks. It is only about $60, but skipping it can create a huge problem down the road if the structure is in violation. Now, let's talk about HOAs, because this is where I see the most heartbreak with horse property buyers, especially out in areas like Vail. An HOA, or homeowners association, is a private governing body for a neighborhood or a subdivision. When you buy into an HOA community, you are legally bound by their CC&Rs, which stands for covenants, conditions, and restrictions. Here is the thing most people do not realize. An HOA's rules override your plans even if the county zoning allows horses. If the county says you can have 4 horses on your lot, but the HOA says you can only have 2, the HOA wins. In the Vail area specifically, this is a common issue. You have some subdivisions that are very horse friendly, like Fast Horse Ranch, which was literally designed with equestrian use in mind. But right next door, you might have a newer subdivision where horses are flat out prohibited or severely restricted. The CC&Rs can restrict the number of horses, the type and height of structures you can build, along with fencing materials, manure management requirements, and even on your lot, the horses can be kept. Some HOAs require specific fencing styles like 3-rail vinyl, which is more expensive than pipe fencing. So let me give you the 5 things you absolutely must check before buying any horse property in the Tucson area. Number 1 is to verify the zoning classification. Is the property in an unincorporated area in Pima County? Is it in the city of Tucson? Or is it in a specific town? What zone is it in? And does that zone allow livestock? Number 2 is to check the density allowance. How many horses per square foot of lot area does the zoning allow? Do the math based on the specific lot size. And number 3 is to pull the CC&Rs if there is an HOA. Read every single page. Look for sections on livestock, animals, agriculture use, structures, and fencing. If the CC&Rs do not mention horses at all, that does not mean that they are allowed. It might actually mean the opposite. Number 4 is to verify your setback requirements for any structures you plan to build or that are already existing on the property. If existing structures are not in compliance, that is a problem that you are inheriting. And number 5 is to check for your overlay districts or special conditions. Some areas have environmental overlays, wash setbacks, or scenic corridor restrictions that can limit what you can build and where, even if the base zoning allows for horses. Let me give you a quick breakdown of how this plays out in the most popular horse property areas around Tucson. So Tanque Verde Valley. This is one of the most established equestrian areas. Most properties here are on larger lots in unincorporated Pima County with horse-friendly zoning. Many have no HOA at all. Direct trail access is also available, and this is as horse-friendly as it gets. Out in Vail, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Vail has a mix of older unincorporated ranch properties with no HOA and newer master plan subdivisions with HOAs that may or may not allow horses. You have to check every single subdivision individually. Do not assume. Catalina Foothills, luxury area, and some properties do allow horses, but lots tend to be smaller and HOA restrictions are very common. You are looking at a higher price point for less acreage. Then you have Sonoita and Eldon, southeast of Tucson, about 45 minutes. This is wide open ranch country. Larger lots, very few any HOAs, agricultural zoning. If you have 20 plus acres with no restrictions, this is your spot. The key takeaway is that in Tucson, horse friendliness varies dramatically from one street to the next. You cannot assume anything. All right, if you are looking for horse property in Tucson and you want someone who actually understands zonings, HOAs, and what it takes to keep horses in the desert, I've put together a free horse property guide that covers all of this and more. Just text me horse guide at 520-980-9880. I'm Meg Estes, your AZ homegirl. I am a Tucson native. I specialize in equestrian properties, and I do this so you do not have to learn these lessons the hard way. If you have any questions about a specific property or a neighborhood, drop them in the comments below because I read them all and I answer every single one. Hit subscribe and I will see you in the next one.